Hey Aries, we are going to be doing your reading, so we're going to get right into it. Aries, this is for like singles or looking for love, that kind of stuff, okay? All right, so let's see. Also, these are most likely going to be, I want to say, shorter than usual. Three of Pentacles just came out. Maybe... All right, let's see what's going on here, Aries. Aries. Maybe some of you guys fell in love at workplace, okay? That could certainly be it. All right, let's see. Aries. All right. All right, let's see. Ooh, hold on. The Fool card just came out. So, all right, maybe this has something to do with maybe you guys like acronyms or initials, okay, that kind of stuff. That might be something here. I feel like I do kind of say that a good amount. I'm not really sure what's up with that, but I don't know. Some of you guys also maybe are... I gotta tell you, I think there's something here about maybe even like a strong friendship or something like that, or wanting to start off as friends in some sense. So, all right, which is, I mean, that's good. So, all right, let's see what's going on here. I also think you're wanting somebody who is like always going to be like down for something. You know what I'm saying? Just being like, okay, I'm down for whatever, that kind of stuff. Seven of Wands is here. I love this deck. All right, let's get into your reading, Aries, and see what's going on here. Aries. Getting one more shot or one more chance, okay? So, I don't know. That might be something. So, all right, let's see. Aries. All right. Well, so, all right, you guys have the Emperor. You have the Emperor, and this is showing up for like kind of like what you're wanting in love, and you have it with the Golden Egg card here, okay? So, all right, interesting. This Golden Egg does not actually look like the like highlight back there, so that's kind of interesting. All right. I think some of you guys did fall in love at a workplace, or there's something about that, okay? That kind of stuff. This might be somebody that you are working with, okay? That kind of stuff. Or you might be wanting to like, maybe that's what you want. Maybe you're like, I want somebody who I can like be friends with and also be like lovers with and like maybe work with them also. That's a lot. I mean, listen, I don't know. Maybe that's kind of what you're into here, that kind of stuff. But it does feel like kind of a lot. But here's the thing. Maybe you're used to like doing stuff like by yourself, or there's maybe a sense of like possibly maybe like being isolated, that kind of stuff in the past energy here. I feel like there's something that you're like, I want to get to the middle of something. I'll tell you another thing. Some of you guys here, what you're wanting is simply just to like be okay with, again, like the idea of like vulnerability, that kind of stuff. And like this Golden Egg card, this does represent like the heart chakra, okay? So it is kind of interesting with the Emperor card there, but there's something about, I want to say maybe even you like initiating something, okay? Or you being like, you know what, I'm gonna like take control of whatever this is. And it might be that it's like what you're controlling. I actually think it's the opposite, really, Aries. I think there's something that you're like, I want to give up some level of control here. I don't want to be having to like feel like I have to like micromanage everything or something about that, okay? Maybe that's something you've experienced in a past relationship here. But again, this feels like really opening up your heart, that kind of stuff, okay? Do you know what I'm also getting? This is not going to be for all of you guys, Aries, but I'm also understanding something about being like, okay, you know what? I've made a mistake in the past. First of all, we've all made mistakes. I don't know. Maybe some of us haven't. I don't know. But we do make mistakes as people, okay? The thing of it is like taking accountability for it, understanding like the wrongness or whatever the heck, that kind of stuff. That's really important, okay? And you shouldn't hold yourself, you shouldn't assume that you are not allowed to be happy or be in a relationship or anything like that because of a past something or other, okay? There's a difference between a mistake and a repeated mistake where it's now that's just the pattern of behavior. There's a difference between those things, okay? So, all right, let's see. So you guys have the Ten of Swords, and this is showing up for like what's currently holding you back from love. So I do think that there's something that was either a backstab or a betrayal, okay? You know, certainly there could be a betrayal. For some of you guys, this could be And for some of you guys, you might be hung up on a past love here. You know what I'm saying? There might be something about that maybe that is something that's like kind of holding back in some sense. But I also do just understand this as being like, okay, the past experience was a betrayal, or like the last time it was like friggin' overkill or something about that. Okay. That's kind of what I'm feeling here. You have the Justice card. This is showing up as like what you're naturally good at. So that's freaking awesome. Okay. You are naturally good at kind of, I want to say reading the room, or at least kind of reading a situation. There is something about patterns, pattern spotting, recognizing patterns, something like that, okay? Something regarding that. And I'll also say, I think there's something here where this almost feels like, okay, you know, if there was a past experience where either you or somebody else here, there was like betrayal or something about that, or I want to say like a harsh ending of some sort, a painful ending or an abrupt ending to something, okay? I feel like you are naturally good at like spotting something so that you're like, okay, I don't want that to happen again, or I do want this thing to happen again. I know how to kind of do that, okay? That kind of stuff. I also think there's something here that you're very fair about, okay? That kind of stuff. I think that's like something that comes natural to you. You guys might be somebody who's like, maybe you're just very strong in the sense of like, like things need to be fair. There's something about that, okay? That kind of stuff. Again, I feel like that is really good in the sense of spotting something that in the past, either you or somebody else, again, betrayal, whatever the heck it is, I feel like you're naturally good at either avoiding that in the current energy or learning a lesson from whatever that was that happened, okay? That kind of stuff. All right, let's see. You guys have the 8 of Wands, and this is showing up as like areas to work on. So, okay, I think that there maybe is something about maybe like speaking up or voicing what it is exactly what you want. Okay, there might be something about like really direct communication, or just being like, here's the thing. It's like you do know what it is that you want here, okay? I think that there's an energy of maybe being decisive about something. It's more just like, okay, now we have to speak up on that. You know what I'm saying? That kind of stuff. And I'll also say another thing here. This might also be just like opening up to that like experience of like conversation or meeting somebody new or whatever the heck it is, you know, something like that, okay, as opposed to kind of like being like shut down, that kind of stuff. This 10 of Swords is like really looking down, okay, that kind of stuff. So there might be something about that, all right? Maybe you're feeling shy, or there's, you know, something. So, all right, let's see what else. Again, these are going to be kind of short readings just for these like single readings. If you want like a personal reading on anything really, you can email me. I'm like, what's my email? I'll put it in the description. I don't know. I'll put it in the description. Sorry. All right. So let's see. Aries. All right. Okay, so let's see. You guys have the 10 of Swords, and you have it with the Star card here. Again, this is showing up as like what could be currently holding you back from, you know, reaching out for love or finding love, that kind of stuff. Okay, 10 of Swords and the Star. This feels like something has like, it's been too much to the point that you're like, I don't know if I can heal this. I don't know if I can, you know, if I can, I don't know, get this up and running. I'm also weirdly understanding something about being like, we're going to renew this, or we're going to like renew our vows, or we're going to, I don't know, something about that. And there was something in that. I don't know, there's something in that was holding you up in some sense here, okay? That kind of stuff. There's also something in the past here that whatever's holding you back, there was something that I want to say was extremely unfair, or something that you couldn't like get out of your head, like something that like you kept thinking about over and over again, like maybe to the point of exhaustion or overwhelm or something about that, okay? That kind of stuff. I do understand something regarding that. And then with the Star card here, I feel like there's something about like maybe being like, well, I don't feel hopeful for the next time, or, you know, that kind of stuff, okay? There might be something regarding that, all right? Also, there's something about like having a hard time and maybe not knowing like where to turn to, or not knowing like who can I tell this to, or there's something regarding that. So, all right, let's see. You guys have the Justice card, and then you have it with the 5 of Pentacles. This is showing up for what you are naturally good at. So I feel like you're naturally good at spotting something that's not fair, or seeing where something is imbalanced, being like there's too much stuff is being placed here, or, you know, that kind of stuff, okay? That feels like that is something that is naturally comes good to you. And you know what I'll also say here with this Justice card and the Five of Pentacles, I feel like you guys have a good sense of humor. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like there's something here where it's like, you might even, and I'm not a doctor, I'm not a therapist, any of that stuff. Okay, so that's not what I am. But there might be something where it's like, you know what, I take my pain and I like make them into like humor. I like kind of joke things away, that kind of stuff. I don't know if that's a healthy response. That's what I do. I have no idea if that's allowed. I don't I don't know. But I also do that. Okay, like everything, it's like, okay, ready? Like, we can either laugh about this or we can just hysterically cry. Like, which one? So there might be something there that it's like you choose to kind of like either stick up for like the underdog in some situation here, okay, and that maybe that has something to do with like your love life, all right, that kind of stuff. Maybe whoever this is, like, who's going to be like your future partner or whatever it is, maybe it's like they love that. They love somebody who like kind of sees like an injustice and is like, no, that's not going to be what it is, that kind of stuff. I like that too. That's cool. So, all right, cool. Especially with that Fool card, I gotta tell you, maybe you're somebody that you're like, you might hate the whole devil's advocate thing, all right? It might be that you're like, no, I want somebody to like, when I'm like this is what I'm like doing, like you want somebody to be like, yeah, like I'm just as excited about that, or it's like, I see that as a problem too, or, something like that, okay? All right, so let's see. I don't think this has anything to do with your reading unless it weirdly does, but this Five of Pentacles, like with this reverse, like rose thing in her dress, I guess, I was just watching like flower arranging videos the other day, and some of them are really cool, but they were like putting the flowers upside down in the water. I don't know, but that just made me think of this. So I'm not sure. Maybe you guys like flowers, or I don't know, something. Maybe. Okay, probably, I think. And if so, that definitely has something to do with this Ten of Swords there, okay? So, all right, let's see. I also think that you want either somebody to like break down your tough exterior, or you want that to happen to somebody else. You know what I'm saying? That sounded threatening. I didn't mean it like that, but like, it's like, I want to, maybe that's just what it is. It's like, you want like you and like your partner to both kind of like be comfortable, like exposing your inner world, that kind of stuff. Okay, there might be something about that. Why is this golden egg making me think of like high cholesterol? I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't know. I'm not really, I don't know what's up with that. Okay, so you guys have the Eight of Wands and you have it with the Queen of Cups. This is showing up for like what you might want to work on, that kind of stuff. Okay, so again, I feel like this does have something to do with like saying exactly what it is that you want, that kind of stuff. Okay, but I also wonder if there's something to do with like timing here. Okay, something about that is like the timing of something, maybe kind of reading the energy from somebody else, or being very aware of somebody else's like emotional state or your own, whatever the heck it is. And it's almost like, okay, don't say things like that might come across the wrong way. That's a very hard freaking thing to, I actually don't even like that I said that, because that's going to lead to like overthinking, that kind of stuff. Not good. Okay. But there is something about that, but I feel like the way to say it would be so like nuanced. So you also have this interact and relate card. It says community, family, and traditions. So this is showing up for also what to work on here. I think that interacting would be a wonderful thing, especially with the Eight of Wands. Okay, maybe there is something about that. I also think this is maybe, again, that like vulnerability, like exposing like your inner world or your emotions, that kind of stuff. Okay, something regarding that. I would also like lean into your intuition, that kind of stuff. Like, again, really reading the room, that type of stuff. I wonder if in the past you even had like an intuitive like nudge about somebody and you maybe ignored it. You know what I mean? That could have definitely been something here. So, all right. So that's what I have for you guys. I hope this reading was helpful and made sense, all that kind of stuff. If not, you could check your other placements. Otherwise, I'll see you guys back for your next one. Thank you. Bye.